Well, hello, everybody. We said we were going to start something new, and this is us starting something new. So typically, we've done 2 market updates a week. We're now only doing 1 market update a week, which leaves more time for us to give you the information that you need. So today, for our very first episode, and by the way, Stephen Meade here with Domicile Real Estate. If you are looking to buy or sell real estate in Southern California and you'd like our expertise, give us a call, send us an email, reach out to us here on YouTube, whatever floats your boat. So this is going to be a little bit awkward. When you talk about what the Fed is doing and mortgage rates at parties and to your friends in the finance, banking, and or real estate industries, you probably sound like an idiot. And you're not an idiot. You're a smart person, but you've been misinformed and you've been led by intuition, which is not always correct. So today, we're going to fix that so you sound smart, you know what you're talking about, and you're better informed. Now, I'm going to say this several times in this video because it's really important. Time number 1, the Federal Reserve and the Fed funds rate have very little to do with mortgage rates. First time. We're going to say it a few more times just to make sure it sinks in. So why is that? Well, let's understand first, what is the Fed funds rate? When they say the Fed raised the rate, what does that even mean? Well, here's the deal. The Federal Reserve has kind of a big lever to pull. And that big lever is when banks need to borrow money from someone because they don't meet their deposit requirements or because they don't meet the reserve requirements, they have to borrow Fed funds rates or Fed funds. And the rate that the Federal Reserve gives to banks is called the Fed funds rate. And that is the rate that they adjust. Now, you might be thinking, wait a minute. If this is the rate that banks have to pay to borrow money, wouldn't that affect mortgages? You might think it would, but it doesn't. And the reason why it doesn't is we have to understand what happens when you go to the bank and get a mortgage. It's probably not what you think. In your mind, you think, let's say, Wells Fargo. You walk into Wells Fargo, you apply for a loan. Someone is somewhere in a big vault, goes and grabs the money, sends it to escrow, either really through a wire transfer, not a steel briefcase, but the bank sends the money, and then that bank has made you a loan from the people who deposited money in the bank, right? Like they're the people who have money in their savings and checking accounts. The bank takes that money, gives you a mortgage. It doesn't really work that way. It is more than likely, in fact, it is very rare that banks actually keep loans on their books like that. As a percentage, it is a small percentage of their loans. The reality is banks act a lot more like car dealerships. They're kind of a middleman between the manufacturer and you. And in this case, the manufacturer is Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. So what really happens, and if you use a mortgage company, this is absolutely what happens. The bank makes a loan. They then in turn sell that loan to Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. They package a bunch of loans together and then they sell them to investors who then get the proceeds of all the loans coming in every single month. And that's basically how it works. And it's important to understand that because when you want to know what is the mortgage rate, it's not what the banking industry is doing, it's what the bond market is doing. And the reason why it's the bond market is because mortgages are a relatively safe investment, just like other bonds. And that's important to remember. By the way, second time, the Fed funds rate has very little to do with mortgage rates. Okay, we're going to say it again before we're done. When you're an investor, who is buying, when you think about it, who's buying mortgage-backed securities or MBSs or whatever stupid acronym they go? Basically, you get a loan in your house, they combine it with other loans, and somebody buys that product that's all been lumped together at a later date. Who's buying these? Well, it's the same people that buy bonds. And the reason why it's the same people that buy bonds is because mortgages, when packed together, are relatively safe. What are the most popular bonds that most people know of? Well, they're US Treasury bonds, right? We all know Treasury bonds. Maybe your parents gave you a savings bond. Maybe someone else told you to invest in bonds as a hedge against inflation. Not really great advice, by the way. These bonds act very similar to mortgages. And so when you want to know what's happening, when you want to sound smart, and when you want to stop bugging your loan officer every 2 hours on what's happening in the mortgage markets, it's pretty easy. You can go into any financial website, Wall Street Journal, your trading partner, and you will look for the 10-year Treasury index. And if you look at that index, you can see what is happening. The mortgage market for 30-year fixed rate mortgages moves almost exactly the same as that. Not always perfect, but almost all the time. So whenever you see news in the financial world, you're wondering what's really happening with rates, you can look that up. You can look it up. What did it do today? What did it do the last week? What did it do the last month? And you can get an idea of what's happening in mortgage rates. That way, you don't have to bug your loan officer. Of course, you're always free to call me and ask what's happening in the mortgage market. I'd be happy to tell you. But if you want to check on your own, that's how you do it. And that's how you sound smart and not like an idiot at parties when you're talking to your friends about mortgage rates. By the way, the Fed funds rate has almost nothing to do with mortgage rates. 3 times. Anyhow, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave comments in the comments down below on YouTube. We love you. We appreciate you. If you're looking to buy or sell real estate in Southern California and you'd like to work with a firm that has smart people, definitely give us a call. We'd be happy to help. We'll see you again real soon.